Hello everyone! I'm here to review Mob Psycho episode 9. Now, it's hard to come up with like a better episode after last week's episode. I'm sure it was, but they did not stop at all making the amazingness that continued into this episode. I mean, it starts off exactly where it left off. So, let's get into it. So right away, Dimple tells Mob that the bodies aren't real. Now, I kind of suspect that they wouldn't kill the parents and Ritsu off just like that for no reason. I just didn't know like how whose bodies are those basically. But he says they're like puppets or something, and it's really scary because Mob at any moment could just decide like, you're lying to me, I'm gonna kill you or something crazy. But Mob believes him and calms down for a second, just enough to where he kind of uses a new ability. He kind of like, when Dimple said it's not the real bodies, he's like, okay then, I'm gonna find them. And he just sends out like this signal that goes across the whole city, and he's like, I found them. It's like, what the hell? Like, who is this character? I like how his hair is animated all like up while he's in this mode, and he's at 100%, just staying at 100% pretty much. And it's not just staying at 100%, but it's like he is on a path of revenge. It's not even as much as like they killed his parents, he's gonna kill them. He wants to find his parents, but he's gonna like make them pay in the process. And this is a very different side to Mob that we've seen glimpses of this, but this is nothing like how it's been. I mean, the guys are off, like, it was like two guys, one with spiky hair, another one with glasses or something, and they're just walking along the city, like, having a calm day, like, oh, why'd we set the place on fire, blah, 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 and here comes Mob, just like a meteor from the sky. It's like, oh, shoot, who's this kid? The people are like, oh my god, this kid just came out of the sky. Mob's like, are you the ones or whatever? Like, oh man, this is not gonna go well. So while this is going on, while Mob is about to destroy these two fools for interfering in his life, Hanazawa, I think his name is, the blonde-haired kid who has powers, he's getting attacked by a member of Claw as well. And I love how, like, some of these guys show up and they look amazing, they look powerful, and you're like, ooh, snap, who's this? And it's just nothing, it's just a nobody. He gets annihilated by Hanazawa. We don't get to see it. We just know, like, he just blasts Hanazawa. He's like, yeah, right, okay, like, you think you got him, but there's no way that you actually got him. So we see what happened afterwards, but we just know it, like, the Claw is attacking everybody who was involved in last season's like infiltration of that Claw base. So the guy with spiky hair uses electric powers, and it does absolutely nothing to Mob. Mob's just there like, this is your only ability? Just electricity? Okay, so grabs him, throws him away. It's like, okay, you're not it. How about you, good sir? How are you the one who burnt my house down and took my parents? And he beats this guy in the face, no problem. This guy's like, oh, I have impervious armor, you can't get through. Just like, bam, nope. And he passes out. It's like, Mob's just ruthless in this episode, and I love it. I love seeing him. This is kind of like how he was made to be from the Mogami stuff, and like how he ended up being in that dream world or whatever, and now it's being portrayed here in the real world. Like, this is, when people push you far enough, this is what could happen to you, basically. So the guy from last season shows up to help Mob, or like take him out of there, Kageyama, I think his name is. He shows up and takes him with Sakurai, the guy with the glasses and the sword, the plastic sword that cuts through anything. These guys pick him up and take him back to a little hideout that Regan and everybody are at. Because apparently everyone's been getting attacked, so everybody had to be on the run and get away, and that's where they're gonna take Mob. And he decides that when he finds out Regan's there, he's like, okay, we're not going there fast enough, so he just lifts up the car and flies them straight to, like, Mob is just using his powers like nuts in this episode, and I love it so much. We get to the little base, and the whole crew is here. I mean, pretty much everyone we've seen in Season 1 is here. And I don't know all their names. There's so many names I have to remember in this show. But I try to make it easy with me. I have like some of the names here for me to view, because there's no way that I remember all of these people's names. Mob, Kageyama, that was hard enough. But all these other ones is a lot. So Dimple explains the situation to the whole crew. And Regan talks to Dimple like privately, like, okay, so were those bodies fake, or is that something that you made up? And Dimple's like, I believe they were fake. I have really strong reason to believe that they were fake, but I'm not 100% sure. And Regan's like, wow, you must have been really like panicked to come up with a lie. If it is a lie, he must have been pretty panicked to come up with that on the fly. But Regan goes up to Mob and says as well, I believe your parents are alive. I know they're out there and we'll find them. And the relief that Mob feels, it switches his 100% off and he just passes out. He's like, oh, thank God. Bam, gone. Passed out, asleep at 2%. And that's it. Like, I wonder if they're gonna have trouble waking him up and everyone's gonna have to just struggle until he wakes up because bad guys are coming. So among this group, we have Tsuchiya, which is that weird-haired girl that, like, is really strong or something. We got Mukai, which had the dolls or something. I thought she would have the puppets. Isn't she the one that maybe put the puppets there or something? I don't know. It's really weird because I thought she was the one that had, like, the dolls or uses dolls and stuff, but I can't remember. And we got Muraki. Muraki? Yeah, Muraki. Sorry if I'm butchering these names. The guy with the mole, like, right here. And he can, like, go into your psyche and mess you all up. And we got Terada, which I don't actually remember. I remember this guy, but I don't remember what his powers were. So apparently he wasn't that great. I think he fought Hanazawa or something. And completely got annihilated. I can't remember. But those guys all there. And they're all grouped up together, ready to fight Claw. And I mean, they've all been attacked by Claw. Claw's sending out tons of people to attack everybody. All the espers that could get in their way, attacking all of them. Because Claw is about to do something really, really big. And we don't get to that till later in the episode. But you know it's going to be like world domination or something. Because that's what it always is when it comes to people with powers. Hanazawa shows up with the guy who attacked him, and they proceed to torture this guy. They waterboard this poor guy. They just have him floating over a bucket of water and just sticking his head in. And he's like, oh, I'm never gonna talk. And just gets his head stuck in. He's like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll talk. Like, it didn't last very long. And he told them everything that's going on. And why they're being attacked. And what Claw's setting up to do. But they kind of just hide out in this place. They don't actually go out to explore what's going on. They kind of just stay bunkered down for now because I know they're going to have to all get into the action. And we come to the part where the leader of Claw, the big bad boss himself, is revealed in the show. And I believe his name... Oh, what's his name? His name is Suzuki Toichiro. So Suzuki here, which he put a 46 next to his name. I don't know what the heck that was about. But he's the big bad, and you know this guy means business. This guy has to be on god-level powers to be able to control this whole group of espers who could all just gang up on him and defeat him. But he can't be defeated like that because they don't do that to him. Because this guy has to be the problem. And I can't wait because I know they're going to have him go against Mob. I just know it. And it has to be amazing. And I hope we get to that soon because how many episodes are in this season? Like, if it's only 12 episodes or 13, it's going to be sad. This season went by so fast. So the leader of Claw came out and said, like, our goal is world domination. We're going to take everything that people have built and destroy it. Everything. And he has this group behind him called the Ultimate Five. So it's 5 of his top guys, like top guys, who are the most powerful ones. And he has one of them with him, Hattori. Sorry. This guy uses his psychic powers to, like, control, like, radio waves and signal waves and everything. So he, like, broadcasts his boss onto the TV screens all over the world, saying, like, we are Claw, and we're gonna take over the world, and no one can stop us, and all this stuff. And it's like, wow, this is a big deal. The whole world's watching this. You see characters from the past episodes that are, like, in shock, like, what's going on? But they don't attack the world right away. They just broadcast that's what's gonna happen, get used to it, and then they're, like, waiting, they're getting everything set up before they actually go about doing that. So the son of Suzuki is actually against his father. He actually has his own little group that's trying to go against his father, and he actually took Ritsu in to help him, and sent his parents, Mob's parents, to like a resort or something for a little bit to get them out of the way. So they're not dead. They're alive. Thank God. Been so bad if they were dead. So they're safe. Ritsu's kind of helping this kid, and he's trying to find a way to like beat his father. But this kid's can't be anything like against his father. His father has to be just absurd levels of power. So we have this little subplot in the story that I'm not going to touch too much on because it kind of, I felt like it was unnecessary. And not really unnecessary, but I felt like they tried to mash this in the episode too much. Like, it felt like they were trying to fit way too much information in one episode. There were so many new character names, so many little plots happening, that it just felt like one thing after the next. You didn't have time to breathe. It was just like, here, here, here. And one of those plots is the esper named Joseph, who is like in the Claws group. And he has this other guy, I don't remember his name, but he looks like a weird little small dude. And they're plotting to like take over Claw from within, to like start a mutiny. And he gets like a whole group together and they're gonna do this thing, and Joseph is all cool, like, yeah, and he confronts the Claw's boss, and he's like, yeah, the Japanese government's been watching you, and did you think you would get away with this? There's no way you could do anything like this or whatever. And he gets destroyed. Like, he gets so annihilated by just not even Claw. The Claw boss didn't even do anything. He just stood there, calm as ever, while his subordinate, like the Ultimate Five guys, just took care of all this little mutiny group and just, like, destroyed them completely. We have this one guy, one of the Ultimate Five, is Minagishi, who controls plants, it looks like, which is interesting because they did have that at the beginning of this season, with using your powers to control plants. So I guess that's what he does. And we have Shibata, which is like, they keep having characters who are like, they buff themselves up and use their energy to like make themselves super strong. But this guy is the real deal. This guy just takes somebody who was gonna be strong and just mashes his face into the wall, and he's like, no, this is nothing. You guys are nothing. So we got Shibata, Minagishi, we have Serizawa, which is he's kind of a weirdo type of guy. He looks like an average Joe. He has his umbrella that he uses to like protect himself, and he used the umbrella to like send power waves and stuff. He's kind of the one who destroys Joseph, and he's kind of like almost like the protector of the Claw boss, but I don't feel like he needs anyone to protect him. I feel like he's a powerhouse of his own, pretty much. But anyway, Joseph survives, and I don't know what he's gonna do next, if he's just gonna give up or whatever, but I mean, there wasn't really any point to all of that little subplot other than having it show some of the powers and who these characters were and how they're related and whatnot. But it felt kind of rushed. It just felt like it was just moving real quick, and we're just like getting all these characters, and then no, actually these characters are powerless, they're horrible, these are the characters that you need to look out for. It's like, okay, like whose names do I need to remember in this show? One of the Ultimate Five, I think this is the last one of the Ultimate Five, is Teru, I think his name is. His power is to teleport. He can actually teleport instantly anywhere. He has instant transmission, can go anywhere he wants, and he's blind, which makes him even more formidable, just because you feel like he has like a handicap, but it actually makes him even more powerful. He can like sense the movements of everybody, dodging bullets like nothing. Lets a bullet hit him and it's like, actually that did absolutely nothing to me. And he kidnaps the prime minister. I don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe they'll hold him as a hostage for some reason, but I feel like they're so powerful, there's nothing anybody can actually do to stop these guys. They don't really need a hostage, but they take him anyways. Teru teleports with the prime minister outside. He's just like, actually I don't need to run away because boop, we're out of there. He's a different location. But Hanazawa shows up and he's like, oh, I sent some guys show up, and I see like you're kidnapping her, so you're doing something bad, so I'm gonna fight you. And Hanazawa tries. He really tries. He gets annihilated by this blind guy. He gets kicked around like a rag doll, and he thinks, oh, maybe he's super fast, that's why he's so quick. Like, I'll just put up multiple barriers and he won't be able to get through any of them. He just teleports right there with him in his barrier, knocks him out, knocks this poor guy out. And that's the end of that. I mean, he passes out, And I think he's still alive. His friends find him and like, oh, why did you get out? Why did you leave or whatever? But the Prime Minister's been kidnapped. Claw has the upper hand right now. I mean, they're destroying everybody who's in their way. I feel like the only one who can stop them is Mob. Mob is the person to stop them. But he just doesn't like using his powers on people, but if you get him to 100 or more percent, it's over. And I can't wait to see that happen. So, it was a good episode. I would probably give it, oh god, what would I give it? I'd probably give it a 70%. I would give it 80, I really would, but I'm gonna give it a 70% just because it felt very rushed. It felt like there was too many things happening all at the same time, and they were just like having everything happen super fast. Like the fights were happening fast, the confrontations were happening fast. I wanted it to be a little bit slowed down and just ease us into all these new characters. So many new characters, but some of the fights in the beginning were amazing, and Hanazawa's fight with Teru was amazing. So those upped it up a bit. So I'll keep it at 70%. I would give it 80, but it just needed to be slowed down. The pacing needed to be a little bit slower. Just a little bit too fast for me. Trying to keep up with all these names and all the things that were happening. It was just one thing after another. But let me know what you guys think. Would you rate it any higher? You probably would, because it was really... It's Mob Psycho, man. This show... Honestly, this show is moving up to almost my top 4, top 3 anime of all time. Season 1 was amazing, but it was kind of just there in my top 10. But the season 2 is just moving it right on up. It's amazing. This show is great. Make sure you get more people to watch this show. It's very underrated. It needs more recognition for sure. And like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Check out my other content, like my Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay, Walking Dead gameplay, and my January and February reviews as well. And make sure that you guys subscribe and promote this channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000. 1,000 is the threshold that I'm trying to reach, and I hope to get there someday. But I'm in the 500s. I'm doing all right. But yeah. Also, on a side note, I won't be doing Boruto chapters the same way anymore because they both got hit with copyright strikes. So I'm going to try to do something different for the next Boruto chapter. But keep in mind that it'll be different, and just look forward to that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a great one.